How's it going, fellas, and welcome to the channel where I kick back, relax and talk video games. And today it's going to be another NBA 2K19 rant and rave about the story of the Prelude. I actually enjoyed the story. There was some good things, there was some bad things. So over the next few minutes I'm going to be talking about everything I liked and everything I hated when it comes to the story of the Prelude in NBA 2K19. So if you like that sort of stuff, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, and let's get into it.
With the 12th pick in the NBA draft, the Los Angeles Lakers select Corey Harris.
So the first thing I want to talk about is my biggest problem with the story in 2K19, and it's still a linear story. Your performances don't matter at all. You can have the best game in the world and you'll have the same cutscene as if you went 0-15 from the field goal range and you just didn't drop a point, but yet you'll still be praised like you're a superstar. To me, that just doesn't make sense in a story mode because the gameplay has to reflect the story. That is the biggest problem for me in this 2K19 game mode, because when you perform, you get the exact same cutscene as if you don't perform, and that to me just takes the immersion out of the game, because if you were struggling on the court, you should be struggling off the court, and vice versa, because that's what drives the story. If the gameplay doesn't represent the story shouldn't even be there. Because the story just feels like it's added on, and that's one of the biggest problems with the 2K storyline for a very long time. It just feels like it's taking you down a linear path instead of playing an interactive video game.
Hey, what is this, man? Drop the act. Come on. Yo, give me a hand, shout me out to the press.
The press? Don't be naive, AI.
Look, I'm drowning here. All right, please, just help me.
Just stay to school, AI. You're not ready.
So the next thing I want to talk about is the scripting and acting is up to par with most AAA titles. Everybody who's played Mycareer in 2K18 knew the struggle of the Mycareer, especially with the story aspect. It felt like it was improvised. It felt like that they had no care for the scripting in that game, and they were just saying whatever they wanted. There was a cutscene where a guy was humping the main character with a mop, or dancing behind him, mocking him, and stuff like that. Be Fresh was an utter shocking character selection. It was things like this that just killed 2K18, and they haven't gone down the same path. They've actually put some time and the effort into these cutscenes to actually write a decent story. There's more backstory in this one Prelude than what there was in all of 2K18. I know more about the character in 2 hours of cutscenes than what I did from all the cutscenes I've seen in 2K18, and that is a huge step. You've got to know what you're playing for in a Mycareer. There's got to be rewards and consequences based on your actions and performance, because that's what we fell in love with the earlier 2Ks. If you didn't perform on the field, your coach would be on your back. Now they're praising you no matter what score you get. You missed 2 free throws in the older one, and you're thrown into a training drill showing that you have to make free throws over and over and over again. You have to make like 20 in a row because your performance mattered. Consequences mattered for your actions. If I chose to go out with my mates and miss training, I lost minutes. There was consequences for your actions, and it just feels to me that they've taken it out in 2K19, in my opinion.
Yeah, this was amazing. And I don't want to ask what was in it because sometimes, and I mean this with all due respect, but there's some stuff in your food that I don't want to know about.
Like shredded snake?
So the next thing I want to talk about is just Wee Lee, or G Wee, or whatever his name is, that little Chinese guy in the Prelude that was just like Be Fresh but better. He actually had a bit more personality, and when those guys came out like James Harden, he wanted his autograph, and then Steph Curry came out and he wanted his autograph. That actually happens in real life. When those American players go over to the Philippines and China and all those sorts of things, not only the fans want their autograph, but the players that they're playing against also want their autograph. So that was a funny thing for me. He's nowhere near Be Fresh. And then we have your rival Corey, which adds another layer to it. And then we're going to have a girlfriend and so many more relationships throughout the game, which is going to be great, because the only relationships, like I've said in previous videos, were with Boo Boo, your security guard, and Spinelli, your doorman. There was no actual real relationships in this game, and that's what this Mycareer hopefully will bring. Some deeper, meaningful relationships that make you actually feel like you're an NBA player struggling trying to make the NBA. Because that's what was good about Mycareer, the struggle. And then when you actually got there, you were over the moon, because it's not about just getting there straight away. That's what they need to realize. Like in 2K18, you were in the NBA within, what, 5-6 games. The struggle isn't there. You're winning a championship within your first season. Like, that's not an NBA career. Most Mycareer players want a realistic experience. They want to struggle early to gain the advantages later and be rewarded later for their long path to that NBA championship. It's meant to be a long road. It's not meant to be just given to you straight away. That's what 2K have to realize, and hopefully we have to go through the G League and then go through a couple of seasons before we're even a chance to take a bad team to the NBA championship. Like, you can take bad teams from day one to the NBA championship in 2K18, and that shouldn't be the case. You shouldn't be a superstar in day one. It's got to be a grind. It's got to be a struggle to make you actually feel like you're an NBA player.
The terms are satisfactory. You need to leave as soon as possible.
Where am I going?
And the last thing I want to talk about is just one little thing, and that was the Chinese commentary and the Chinese coaches and all that. I know it adds realism because you're playing in China, but was it really necessary to have a whole game commentated in Chinese, and then you're getting coaches talking to you and he's speaking Chinese, and apparently at the end of the prelude you find out he knew English anyway. So you know what I mean. The Chinese was just, it was a nice idea, but I just think it was just a little bit over the top. Just stick to the American commentary. Just stick to the American dialogue or English dialogue, because it just doesn't work when it's Chinese, when majority of the players that are playing the game speak English. I know it adds immersion, but really doesn't matter to the point. It just annoyed me at the end of the day. I know it's only a little thing, but it really did annoy me. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. If you do like these rant and raves, leave a like, hit the subscribe button, because it really does help out. And leave in the comments below any thoughts or opinions that you have about the NBA 2K19 story prelude. Leave it all in the comments below. But anyway, guys, I've talked and raved long enough. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch us later.